talking about the Hamilton market update.
I got lots to talk about today. Market's still shifting. Lots of opportunities out there for buyers, especially investors. You're seeing a dip absolutely everywhere. Median prices here, obviously we're seeing a bit of a downward trend. As you can see in March there, median price got to 965. We're not seeing any slow. I think it's just going to keep shifting towards the buyer's favor. It's evident out there. You're still seeing competition for sure. Some properties, but across the board, it's definitely softened. The whole holdback strategy just simply not working anymore. People have lots more options. Skepticism out there, obviously, with interest rates going up and people just kind of taking a step back and reevaluating what's going on. I still think a great time to kind of step in as an investor.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Canadian Real Estate Channel. I'm Adam JD Martin, and today we've got Abdellah here from Revel Realty talking about the Hamilton market update. So what is going on in Hamilton today?
What's up, Adam? How are you?
I'm fantastic, man.
Good, man. Good, man. Super nice to meet here. Got lots to talk about today. Market's still shifting. Lots of opportunities out there for buyers, especially investors. So can't wait to kind of dive in and talk about what's been going on lately.
Yeah, wicked. Let's jump right into it then.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, it's just another some new marketing there with operating the new brokerage here in Hamilton. So some new office space coming soon as well. Always like to start with the numbers. So stat side, looking at median prices here, obviously we're seeing a bit of a downward trend. As you can see in March there, median price got to 965. We're not seeing any slow. I think it's just going to keep shifting towards the buyer's favor. It's evident out there. You're still seeing competition for sure. In some properties, but across the board, it's definitely softened. The whole holdback strategy just simply not working anymore. People have lots more options. Skepticism out there, obviously, with interest rates going up and people just kind of taking a step back and reevaluating what's going on. I still think a great time to kind of step in as an investor. But I would, let's keep with the trend. Let's see what you guys think the April median price is going to be. So if you want to drop that in the comments, make this a little interactive. But I definitely think we're going to see another downward trend in terms of that figure on our next video for sure.
Yeah, that was interesting because really you only came down 4%, but you had a 4% increase anyways the month before. So you're just back to January.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Back to Jan. I think between Jan and Feb, yeah, it's a little weird there how it went from 970 to just over a mil. I think it was just kind of teetering a little bit. You still saw. I mean, it's at the end of the day, you'd have to really dig deep to see what did sell there. But that's when it really, you didn't know which way it was going to go. And I think now going through the month of March, it's the trend is setting in for sure. But yeah, it's just Hamilton's, it's always hard to predict, but
hey, we've doubled in 4 years. So that's not bad.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, man. The last couple of years has been an absolute circus here in terms of price points. But I think slowly but surely it's going to get back to where we need to be. I mean, on the investment side, you can always make a case for a property. Rents, the thing is Hamilton rents just, they hold so strong. There's so much more being done in the city. This is attracting more people, and there's still a huge influx. So as long as rents hold tight, which they will, then everything should be okay there. Awesome. So yeah, jumping into the table, a little year over year here from 2021 to 22. This basically, aside from the average price and the median price, you're seeing a dip absolutely everywhere. The price points are where it's obviously going to take a little bit more time to calibrate. But you see there is basically minuses down the difference column across the board. Sales activity down a considerable amount. Dollar volume, 5.9%, nothing crazy there. New listing double digits. Active listings kind of still holding tight there. This one I like 2 months of inventory. The absorption rate, that one has been steadily creeping up, definitely for the last couple months. So basically that's at a 2021, we saw that 0.5 numbers is essentially a 5-week inventory, 7-week into 2022. I mean, we're in the height of the market, we were seeing that at probably a 2-week absorption rate. Things are absolutely flying off the shelf. Average price, again, that's where that's where that number is obviously holding tight. That's going to take quite a while. And the best way to kind of explain that, just in terms of how we've seen it in the field between myself and all the team members, is people are just stubborn to a fault, where they're going to hold tight because their neighbor sold 2 months ago at a certain price, and then basically the buyer just kind of keeps getting beaten down until they eventually give them, in and around that price point. But I think I came across that situation maybe 3 times in the last week with certain buyers that I'm working with as end users, where we would offer something. It was with an earshot of what they listed it for. You're always having to call in ahead of time to see, okay, what's the expectation here, as opposed to just, hey, let me throw an offer at you like the old days, something in around asking. And they're like denying offers, relisting $2,000-$3,000 higher, $100,000 higher. So it's still a bit of a fight out there in that sense. But those two are going to be the last two kind of stats that are going to take the longest to kind of come down. Median days on market, it looks even keel there. That doesn't take into consideration listings that get price reduced, essentially. If you relist it, it kind of just restarts the counter. Whereas because a lot of people like doing that, obviously, to refresh it and send it out to people's search, as opposed to just kind of reducing the price, which doesn't take into account there. And then average days on market in and around the same. I think it's along the same trend as the average median price. It's going to take a little bit longer going through March here to kind of get to like a 13-14 day DOM there. A little blurb as well here, guys, that we thought was pretty interesting. There was a total of 984 sales of BRRRR properties in March 2022, which is a 24.5% decrease when compared to the same time last year. New listings had a 10.5 or 10.6% decrease when compared to March 21, with a total of 1525, just kind of reiterating what we saw there in the table. So I think for the most part, it's a downward pressure for sure on what's going on in the market. It really depends on how you look at things, whether that's a good or bad thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, it depends what seat you're in, right? It depends if we're buying or selling right now.
Yeah, exactly. So even to be honest, a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but a few repeat investors that we have essentially also to kind of taking a step back. Obviously, it's, when you're in a variable, you're taking a bit of a hit on the cash flow side, and it's all about conversations right now, right? And keeping that kind of bigger picture mindset, where I'm not going to let essentially a normal correction or a normal shift in a market dictate me buying a property, right? Obviously, the numbers got to make sense at the end of the day. But I think it just comes down to kind of deeper conversations with the investors here. As always, like we like to do, guys. So we're going to present some purely off-market opportunities, some properties that we have coming up, some kind of some recent sales that we can do a quick case study around. So this one is purely off-market, 372 Sherman Avenue North. This one's a big boy here. So almost 3,000 square feet. I've been in this building a couple times. Just giant units there. The main floor unit, and then your second and loft space. So it's a legal duplex by status. It's got an in-law suite in the basement as well. A nice little one bed down there for more income, obviously. It was all rebuilt back in 2018 as well. So turnkey approach here as well. Really no BRRRR situation. So for those who are just looking to kind of get something at a decent price and just do the cash flow route, or a good live and rent situation. That's a super common strategy here in Hamilton. Especially, I'm seeing a lot more in triplexes as opposed to kind of duplexes where it's entry level. A lot of people now, obviously, where the price points were and where they got to, now they need kind of a 2-unit offset. So a lot of my first time buyers that we help on the team have basically just turned into early on investors, and they don't even know it, right? Like they're going in, all right, cool. Like we lost out on one the other day in the Lower East End of Hamilton, and it legit could have cash flowed while you lived in it because of the 3 other units. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
So lots of opportunity in that sense, and we try to coach them through. Hey, look, this is where you kind of got to look at it, and then when you decided to move on from your entry level home and get your quote unquote trophy home, then boom, you've got a duplex, triplex, and you're 2-3 doors out of the gate. So always trying to shift that conversation to an investor mindset. This one I think we've posted a few times. Just some motivated sellers here. Definitely a bit of a niche buy, more for the not faint of heart, as it is a big project. So this one, again, new windows, already converted to a two furnace system here. Definitely doesn't look like that. It's all nice charcoal, and it's been resided and with new eaves and downspouts and fascia and all the roof components. So great rental income. Again, great live and rent, just kind of like the other one. This one's a bit of a different area, far more south in Stinson. Asking price here is $875. You're definitely pushing the $250,000 mark on the renovation. So great BRRRR project. Not one you're going to completely take all your money out. So for the more passive side of things, definitely a 60 to 65% extraction here for sure. But this one's going to be a cash cow, definitely on the cash flow. So again, this one's on market. Motivated investors here that we're working with. If any interest, just drop us a comment there, and we can get you through the property. This one is another off market that we have with the team. Nice neighborhood in Gibson Stipley. Asking price $900,000, 2 units. Again, another live and rent situation. 1 bed, main floor, and then the second story in a loft, or a 3-bed, 2-bath. Only 1 meter there across the board. Hydro, water, and gas. So we've projected it about $4,100. Could be a little bit more depending on how you kind of inflate the price to capture the utilities there. I'd say this is definitely a better live and rent than a straight kind of investment approach, but the picture doesn't do it justice. It's beautifully done inside, 2 units, nice big backyard as well. Again, available off market right now through our team. This one we actually just came across it this morning from one of our team members. This one's in Strathcona neighborhood, so super nice developed area in the Lower West End. Legal triplex, very rare for that area. This is like steps of the 403, Lock Street, beautiful green space nearby. Kind of 3 smaller units, but you don't need much size to get top end rents in Strathcona. So shared laundry. Again, don't mean to sound a broken record. Always throw out that live and rent, especially in that area. Everything's very walkable. Walk score there is probably 150. It's super manageable. But again, completely off market here. Legal triplex. You see the asking there. And vacant possession available, so you can obviously go in and set your own rents. This one is about to come to market. Just back to Old Faithful here with the Hamilton Mountain bungalow, kind of all brick bungalow duplex conversion. So we'll be going to market we'll be going to market with this one on May 10th. Definitely available off market as well. This is what I call, kind of the cream of the crop when it comes to duplex conversions here in Hamilton. You're getting the best rents in the city. They're the easiest to convert by way of bylaw. So what's nice about this one too, that's an old picture, so don't mind the jungle out front. But that's all been kind of dug out and resodded. Beautiful front porch, kind of front facade, driveway. There's a giant detached garage through the back of the lot that's serviced with heat and hydro. So for additional income there, with the breakdown we have there, very, very easy. Side entrance drops right down. It's got soaring ceilings there as well. Great Hamilton Mountain location. Again, another great living around, but this one would be a great cash flow approach as well. And the nice thing is you're basically just worrying about legalizing the basement here, which essentially is always just the legal component, but zero money to be put in the top floor. So you can essentially get your first and last right away, roughly $2,400 plus hydro with putting that second meter on. And basically, $4,800 in your pocket while you're working on the downstairs portion. So again, super straightforward, kind of the product that I gear people towards when they want to get into a legal conversion here in Hamilton. And I think this is our last one on the property side. Just a recent deal, new investors that started with us a few weeks ago. Young couple there, just looking to start building a portfolio. So Lower East End here, right off the Red Hill. Again, fairly turnkey up top, minimal work up top. We're just kind of focusing on the basement suite here, and we're going to do a nice one bed down there. Big lot, tons of parking. So you see this one we got on market, so it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. $740 was the purchase price. Where the rental quote just came in yesterday at about $150, and then projected ARV at about $1 million. One nearby, basically identical without legal status, just one in the low 900s. So very confident in that spread, just because of the legal second suite here. But great, again, just the same approach as all these other ones. You can look at it in a couple different ways, but be a great neighborhood for rents. Cash flow all day. It's kind of the best of all worlds here, with money out, cash flow, and just being in a comfortable neighborhood. So super excited for the investors on this one. So yeah, Adam, that's the rundown that we have on the property side. So just a little graphic here for our new brokerage moving into a new office. Just hungry for new and experienced realtors that looking to add to our high producing team. So we'll be moving into that office space in a couple months, but just working through the motion. Super excited about the growth on this one. And then just a reminder about our construction services. So slowly but surely, just kind of adopting every arm, every element, and making sure that we can basically take, especially investors, from essentially the mortgage approval right to leasing, right up until they have first and last, and we swear by that. And that's, we either do it that way, or we wouldn't be doing it all at all. So yeah, 555 construction management, up and running, taking on projects this year. So I've already got a few in the pipeline, and looking to align with like-minded investors. And we come strictly from an investment approach, look to save you money everywhere we can, while we obviously highlight all the attributes to make sure you're making sure that you're getting the top end or top number on your appraisal and on the flip here. So and that's it for me, Adam.
There's a few things I'm noticing there. Like, it seems like months of inventory is kind of interesting. Like, it's starting to kind of go. It seems like the price is kind of like staying right now, but at the same time, like, there's not a lot of new listings. So like, I'd be interested to see what does happen in April. Like, I think April is going to be very interesting for those stats, and just
agreed.
see, like, do we see a bunch of supply coming? Is that going to drop your price down? Like, what is going to be the appetite of the market if a bunch of supply does come and hit. And I think that we're all going to be kind of on the edge of our seats here for the next update to just find out like what happened, right? What did we start a downward trend in price? Is this now becoming more of a buyer's market where we can expect to see, you know, less competition on those bids, or is the market going to, you know, go the other way and surprise us? And you know, we'd love to hear about that in the comments as well, because you know, we don't have a crystal ball, but it is fun to look at these stats and just talk about it, because that helps us really understand where we're at. And one thing I wanted to comment on, and we've talked about this quite a bit on the channel, and I'm just going to beat the stone until it bleeds.
Yeah, the dead horse.
You need a great power team, guys. Like, you know, everything that we just saw, all those deals, a lot of them were off market, right? A lot of those are pocket listings. A lot of those are things that are coming up or are not even on the market. And if you don't have a great power team, you're not working with the right people, you're just not going to be aware of these deals, right? And there's going to be people already on their list, if you're not on the list, that are going to get these deals first, and they're going to get higher priority, right? And they're going to get into deals with the right, you know, the right services, right? Get you qualified for that mortgage with whoever they're working with as a strategic partner, get you construction services, give you a plan, give you an idea of how long it takes to get those permits, how much renovation budget you're looking at based on previous projects that they've done. You need a great power team. That's the reality here. And I mean, you're already here watching this, so you've probably heard about this concept already, but I think it's important to just stress it more and more every video about how important it's going to be to have this great power team as the market continues to change. We see these big updates in the market. We see, you know, environmental factors like interest rates and supply start changing on you. That makes it even more important to have the right team. So thanks again for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. That was a great update. And it's really great to see a bunch of deals coming on one of these updates as well, because this gives you real insight as to what's actually coming up in the market. Is that the price you thought, right? Are those the reno budgets you were thinking about? Do you need to go source more capital? Do you have enough capital right now? Is it time to just pull the trigger? Like, these are questions you can start asking after you watch a presentation like this. And I think those are the right questions, right? That's what we want our following asking. So how can we get people in touch with you and make sure that they're on that list?
Yeah, best way is either through email or hit us up through Instagram. So at the Majd Realty Group, both Instagram and Facebook. I mean, my phone's attached to my hip, 905-921-6253. And yeah, or Majd Realty, majdrealty.com. Another way to kind of just register there, and then we can hit you guys up from there. But no, I think you said that perfectly. It'll be super interesting to see what those price points look like. They're obviously definitely holding strong across the board. A lot of you know, it's like a tug of war out there with a lot of these listings. You know, people are still fighting for these price points, so it'll definitely be a slower trend. But I think you hit the nail on the head, Adam. It'll be interesting to see how it transpires in the next month or so.
Awesome. Yeah, there's deals in every market, guys. Whether the market's going up or down, you know, there's always deals. So, you know, get somebody like Abdellah on your team and get after it. So thanks a lot, man, for coming on. If you guys want to get a hold of Abdellah, the links are down below. Okay, just look right down there. And on your way, where you're scrolling your little eyes down there, hit the subscribe button, get on the notifications, and make sure that you come back for April's update, because you're going to want to know what actually happened and see the next month's stats so that we can start getting an idea where this place is going to head. And in the meantime, hope you guys stick around and watch some more of our videos. I'm Adam J.D. Martin. This is the Canadian Real Estate Channel, and we'll see you at the next one.